This is Bergstrom's State Line Quiz Bowl. Now from the Collins Aerospace Studio at the Nordloff Center in downtown Rockford, here's your host, Eric Wilson.
Welcome. We are so glad you're here for another edition of Bergstrom's State Line Quiz Bowl here at the Nordloff Center. Thanks to our friends at Collins Aerospace. Last week you saw a great game. Marengo ended up moving on. They are in our second round. They will face the winner of this game. Who will it be? Could it be the North Boone Vikings? How about a nice round of applause for them? They brought an entourage. Did you hear those cheers? Holy cow. This is year 5 for the Vikings. A year ago, fell just short of making it into the out of the first round. You'd probably, though, like to get back to your winning ways of the Elite 8, which I think was season 7. Nodding your head, Jet, you probably remember that well. You are the captain. Introduce us to your starting lineup.
Hi, my name's Jet. On my far right is Christy. On my close right is Noel. And on my left is Eli.
Welcome to the North Boone Vikings facing off against the South Beloit Sobos. Wow, and your entourage game is up there too. Nice. Sobos have been part of Quiz Bowl in all but one of our seasons, hoping to win this north-south battle to advance to the second round. Actually, it'll be the first time since season 4 if you made it out of the first round. That'd be sweet, wouldn't it, Ty? Ty is the captain. Who did you bring with you today?
I'm Ty Kabishka. On my left is Roberto Bertista. On my close left is Annabelle Dasher, and on my far left is Ryan Leehammer.
You could have stuck with the left because anybody watching at home, to them, that's the left. You had it. You knew what you were doing, Ty. Don't worry about it. Great job, and good luck to both of our teams. Shall we get into some questions? Enthusiastic head nods all around. Yes, Roberto says, let's do this. Okay, we start with our buzz-in round, so it's pretty self-explanatory. Grab your buzzers. If you know the answer, let me know. Remember, you buzz in. 2 most important rules. Wait for me to call your name and say your answer loudly and clearly. Again, good luck, teams. Here's our first question. What youngest living member of the Baseball Hall of Fame was the only man inducted by BBWAA vote in 2022 and is a former Red Sox DH known as Big Eli?
David Ortiz.
That's right. Didn't even need the nickname. Big Papi. And you are first on the board. North Boone. In what city did residents of the lower 9th Ward flee to the Superdome amid flooding in 2005 caused by levee failures during Hurricane Katrina? Eli.
New Orleans.
That's right. 2 in a row for you and 2 in a row for North Boone. In 1911, the Supreme Court held that what company, founded by John D. Rockefeller, was an unreasonable monopoly? Ryan.
Standard Oil.
Yes, unreasonable monopoly that violated the Sherman Antitrust Act. What institutions, which were targeted in Viking raids on Iona and Lindisfarne? Ryan.
Churches.
Judge, can we take that? Can you be more specific?
Monasteries.
Monasteries is correct, that's right. Faced a dissolution by Henry VIII that ousted many Catholic monks. We're tied now. What adjective, meaning suave or sophisticated, comes from a French phrase literally meaning of good family or of good nature? That's debonair. Sorry for the French accent. I'll move on. What quantity, which appears on the y-axis of the phase diagram for water, has a standard value of about 101 kilopascals or 1 atmosphere? Ty.
Pressure.
That's right, represented by the big P in equations. South Beloit's now on top by 1 question. The book Call Us What We Carry is by what author who read her poem The Hill We Climb at Joe Biden's inauguration? That was Amanda Gorman. What arena that hosts the Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show is near Penn Station, is the home of the New York Knicks, and is abbreviated, Jet?
TD Garden.
Incorrect. I'll finish for South Beloit. And is abbreviated MSG. It's Madison Square Garden. Billy Joel's actually had a long-time residency there. New question. The London Conference of 1832 confirmed what country's independence from the Ottoman Empire under new king Otto von Wittelsbach? Ryan.
Albania.
Incorrect. North Boone, you could take these points and tie it. Go ahead, Jet.
Turkey.
Incorrect. Greece. What explorer who popularized the term New World was immortalized by the map maker Martin Waldseemüller, who used his first name, Jet?
Magellan.
Incorrect. I will finish for South Beloit. Used his first name to refer to America. His first name is Amerigo. We needed Amerigo Vespucci. Noctilucent clouds form in what layer of Earth's atmosphere located directly above the stratosphere? Ty.
Exosphere?
Incorrect. North Boone. Tie it with this one. Jet.
Ozone.
Incorrect. Mesosphere. And that's the end of the round. Tough way to end that round there. Both of our team, we're within a question of our team or each other right now. South Beloit is on top with 30. North Boone has 20. We've got a lot of games to play. Our next round is volleyball, and it's coming up right after this break. We hope you'll stay with us. You have picked a great game to join us for. It's really tight right now. It's only a question between our two teams. South Beloit's on top with 30. North Boone has 20. Our next round is volleyball. It's a back and forth. You can work as a team. We hope you work as a team, but the answers need to come from the captains. And because of the coin flip, our first volleyball question is going to North Boone. Jet, are you guys ready? Here's your first question. What man who was succeeded as king by Numa Pompilius was a son of Rhea Silvia, the twin brother of Remus, and the founder of the Italian capital?
Romulus.
Yes, Rome is named after Romulus. You've tied it up with that, and now we're moving on to South Beloit for your first question of the round, Ty. What town, whose redoubt number 10 was taken by Alexander Hamilton's troops, is where French and American armies drove Charles Cornwallis to surrender?
Yorktown?
Yes, that seemed like a group effort. Annabelle was very insistent. Yorktown, Yorktown. And it's always a good day when we can sneak in a question about the $10 founding father. And you've got points, so we're going to move back over now to North Boone. The dashing Frank Churchill visits the town of Highbury in what Jane Austen novel named for a headstrong young woman?
Jane Eyre.
Incorrect. Emma. Back over to South Beloit. What landmark, which is supposedly protected by a group of captive ravens, was once used as a prison and is now home to the British Crown Jewels?
Tower of London?
You got it. Ryan, I'm going to give you credit for that. Nice work. You've got 10 more points. We're over now to North Boone. Tekken was an ancient Egyptian term for what tall, pointed structures exemplified by Cleopatra's Needles and the Washington Monument?
Monolith.
Incorrect. Obelisks. There's also one right in the middle of St. Peter's Square at the Vatican. Back to South Beloit. What specialized cells have nodes of Ranvier at unmyelinated spots along their axons and transmit action potentials in the human nervous system?
Lymph nodes?
Incorrect. Neurons. Back to North Boone. What country's men's basketball team won Eurobasket 2017, qualified for their first Olympics in 2020, and features NBA star Luka Doncic?
Slovakia.
Incorrect. Slovenia. Back to South Beloit. What four-letter word, which in French can mean expensive or dear, is the stage name of the singer of If I Could Turn Back Time and Believe? Her first name is Sherilyn, or full name is Sherilyn Sarkeesian, but she is better known as Cher. North Boone. What city on the Chena River is named for Theodore Roosevelt's vice president and is the second most populous city in Alaska?
Fairbanks.
You got it. Right at the buzzer. It's named for Charles Fairbanks. South Beloit. What monarch who took power by deposing her husband Peter III in 1762 relied on lovers such as Grigory Potemkin while ruling as Empress of Russia?
Catherine the Great?
Yes, that's right. And Ryan, I'm giving you credit for that one as well. You get those points, and they're the last points of the round. So now we have a 2-question swing. South Beloit has 60, North Boone has 40 at the end of our volleyball. It's halfway through the game, and if you've played this game before, you know how much things can change after our NECA IBEW lightning round, and that round is next. We'll have it for you in just a couple of minutes, but first, a chance for you to play at home with the Bergstrom bonus question.
Before he went on to direct such blockbusters as E.T. and Jaws, which famed Hollywood filmmaker got his start directing the pilot episode of the iconic detective show Columbo?
Tight game this week. South Beloit has 60 points, North Boone has 40. Before we get to questions worth more points, how about pizza and pasta from Lino's of Rockford? That's what's on the line here right now. In fact, in the break, I think one of our teammates or team members said, let's win some pizza. Good plan, but you have to know the answer to this. If you're watching at home, you already saw the question. Contestants, hands on your buzzers. Let me know if you know the answer to this. Before he went on to direct such blockbusters as E.T. and Jaws, which famed Hollywood filmmaker got his start directing the pilot episode of the iconic detective show Columbo? That noise you hear is people screaming this answer at their televisions. It's Steven Spielberg. And as soon as I said it, Ty, you knew, right? I could see the pain in your face. Actually, Spielberg's new movie, it's a semi-autobiographical film called The Fabelmans, hits theaters in wide release this coming week, November 23rd. No pizza or pasta. How fun would that have been to celebrate the release of that movie with pizza? Not this time. Maybe the next round, because one of these teams will move on to our second round. We've got our third round of the game here. Could I be more confusing with that description? Let's just put it simply, if you stay here, we'll have the fastest round of the game for you coming up next. It's the lightning round. Oh, we're all still reeling after leaving that pizza and pasta on the table. Nobody knew Steven Spielberg. We're still kind of surprised at that. Let's move on to our NECA IBEW lightning round. Basically, the first 2 rounds, or between round 1 and round 2, our teams doubled their scores. So here's where we stand right now. South Beloit has 60, North Boone has 40, but the lightning round will change that very quickly. In fact, if you run one of these categories, it will be 100 points added to your score. Because of the flip, South Beloit gets first pick. So Ty, the 3 categories you can choose from are Romeo and Juliet, U.S. Lakes, or Ram?
Third. Romeo and Juliet.
Seems like Roberto was lobbying pretty hard for Romeo and Juliet. We'll see if that's a solid strategy. Answer the following about William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. Pretty straightforward. 60 seconds to go through the category. Remember, advice to both teams, you can pass, and then Jet, you'll have 30 seconds to get to whatever points are left on the board after this 60. Ty, are you ready for your first one?
Yes, I am.
There we go. Remember, you can work as a team. Just make sure the answer comes from the captains. Answer the following about William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. Romeo's family caught in a feud with the Capulets.
Pass.
Italian city where it is set.
Pass.
Friar who aids Romeo and Juliet.
Friar Lawrence.
Correct. Hot-tempered man Romeo kills to avenge Mercutio.
Penfolio.
Incorrect. Rude gesture Samson makes in the opening scene.
Bites his fingertip.
Can you be more specific?
His thumb.
Correct. Ruler whose arrival ends the opening brawl.
Pass.
Girl whom Romeo is lovesick for in Act 1.
Rosaline.
Correct. City where Romeo resides after his exile.
Pass.
And that's our buzzer. There's 2 left we didn't get to. You added 30 to your score. You're up to 90, just shy of triple digits. There's a lot left here for you, Jet. And if you're paying attention, maybe you can blaze through these quickly. I'll read them as fast as I can for you, too. You've only got 30 seconds, though. Are you ready? Here's the first one. Answer the following about William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. Romeo's family caught in a feud. Italian city where it is set.
Rome.
Incorrect. Hot-tempered man Romeo kills to avenge Mercutio.
Pass.
Ruler whose arrival ends the opening brawl.
Pass.
City where Romeo resides after his exile.
Rome.
Incorrect. The Capulets' foolish, illiterate servant.
Pass.
nobleman to whom Juliet is betrothed.
Pass.
Romeo's family caught in a feud with the Capulets. And that's our buzzer. Those 30 seconds aren't much when you've got all these left on here. I will run through the 7 that no one got. Romeo's family is the Montagues. The Italian city, the line from the show is, or the play is, in fair Verona, where we lay our scene. Verona's the city. The hot-tempered man Romeo kills is Tybalt. The ruler whose arrival ends the opening brawl is Prince Aeschylus. The city where Romeo resides after his exile is Mantua. The Capulet's servant is Peter, and the nobleman to whom Juliet is betrothed is Paris. So, Jet, you've got 2 categories left to pick from. They are U.S. lakes and Ram.
What do you think? U.S. lakes?
That seems to be a consensus. Let's go with it. In what state are the following lakes? I'll name the lake, you name the state. Could be quick getting through this category. You've got 60 seconds for these, and then same rules apply to you, Ty, for the 30 afterwards. And again, remember, you can pass. Jet, you ready?
Yep.
In what state are the following lakes? Lake Pontchartrain.
Alaska.
Incorrect. Lake Itasca, the headwater of the Mississippi River.
Minnesota.
Correct. Lake Okeechobee.
Florida.
Correct. Lake Placid, near the site of the 1980 Winter Olympics.
Utah.
Incorrect. Great Salt Lake.
Utah.
Correct. Franklin D. Roosevelt Lake, formed by the Grand Coulee Dam.
Nevada.
Incorrect. Lake of the Ozarks.
Idaho.
Incorrect. Lake Yosemite.
Montana.
Incorrect. Lake Cumberland, near this state's border with Tennessee.
North Carolina.
Incorrect. Grand Lake of the Cherokees.
Arizona.
Incorrect. And you didn't pass on anything. We still have a little bit of time left. There's nothing to go back to. You have 3 of them right, so you added 30. You're up to 60. Again, there's 7 up here, but you only have 30 seconds for them, Ty. I will go through them as quickly as I can. Are you ready for your first one? After conferring with your team, that looks like a solid yes. Here we go. In what state are the following lakes? Lake Pontchartrain. Lake Placid, near the site of the 1980 Winter Olympics.
Pass.
Franklin D. Roosevelt Lake, formed by the Grand Coulee Dam.
Pass.
Lake of the Ozarks.
Minnesota.
Incorrect. Lake Yosemite.
Wyoming.
Incorrect. Lake Cumberland, near this state's border with Tennessee. No time to answer. Again, 30 seconds is not a lot of time when you have 7 to go through. I will run through the 7 no one got. Lake Pontchartrain, we heard a lot about it when Hurricane Katrina hit. That's in Louisiana. Lake Placid, near the 1980 Winter Olympics site, is in New York. Franklin D. Roosevelt Lake, which is formed by the Grand Coulee Dam, is in Washington. Lake of the Ozarks is Missouri. Lake Yosemite is California. Lake Cumberland is Kentucky. And Grand Lake of the Cherokees is Oklahoma. So we have a 20-point swing between our 2 teams, 90 to 70, which is pretty significant as we move into this next round because each question in our next round is 20 points apiece. So you're basically separated by 1 question right now. This is going to be a tight game. We'll see how it ends up after this break in our final challenge. This game has been exciting all afternoon long. I'm sure our contestants would like a little bit more cushion either way, but we are 1 question between our 2 teams. It's only 20 points because each of our questions in the final challenge is worth 20. South Beloit is 90, North Boone has 70. So our final challenge, same rules as round 1. It's a buzz-in. The only difference is that point change. The 2 most important things to remember, especially when the game is so close, wait for me to call your name before you answer and say that answer loudly and clearly. Good luck, teams. A spot in the second round is on the line. Here's our first question in this final challenge. The most covered pop song ever is often said to be what track from the Beatles' album Help, which describes how love was such an easy game to play? Ryan from North Boone.
Yesterday.
That is correct. All my troubles seem so far away. You just tied it up. What empire, once led by Huáscar, had its capital at Cuzco and was dissolved after Atahualpa was killed by the conquistador Francisco Pizarro? Ryan from South Beloit.
Aztec Empire.
Incorrect. I will finish for North Boone. Francisco Pizarro in Peru.
Inca Empire.
Ryan from North Boone.
Inca Empire.
Incan Empire is correct. North Boone is now in the lead. What class of drugs, of which ibuprofen is an example, helps to reduce fever and inflammation and is commonly known by a 5-letter acronym? Ty.
Opium?
Incorrect. North Boone. That acronym is NSAID. They're NSAIDs. What TV show on which Matea Roach, Amy Schneider, and Matt Amodio have been super champions has been hosted by fellow super champion Ken Jennings? Jet.
Jeopardy!
That's right. Cigars made from seaweed are enjoyed by what captain of the submarine Nautilus in Jules Verne's novel 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea? Also, the famous fish who we searched for who disappeared, Nemo. That was Captain Nemo. What country is home to the port of Guayaquil, is the northernmost of 2 South American countries not bordering Roberto?
Ecuador.
That is correct, governed from Quito. What constitutional amendment, which was demanded by protesters called the Silent Sentinels, was ratified in 1920 and gave women the right to vote? Ryan from North Boone.
The 19th Amendment?
That is the 19th Amendment, and you get 20 more. What novel, in which an operation on the club foot of Hippolyte is botched by Charles, describes the title woman's affairs and is by Gustave Flaubert? Madame Bovary. What 6-letter word from the Greek for tactile describes feedback detected by touch, such as vibrations of a cell phone? Jet.
Sense?
Incorrect. I will finish for South Beloit. Such as vibrations of a cell phone when its screen is pressed. Ryan from South Beloit.
Sonar?
Incorrect. Haptic. That's haptic feedback. In what book of the Bible does the villain Haman attempt to kill all the Jews in Persia? Nick.
The New Testament?
Incorrect. South Beloit, you could take these 20 points. Go ahead, Roberto.
The Old Testament.
Incorrect. We needed the specific book. It was the book of Esther, and that is how we end the round. Pulling away in that final round, North Boone, you are moving on. After falling just short, Nick is not shy to show his emotions. That's awesome. Congratulations. You should be very happy. You will move on to face Marengo. And South Beloit, as excited as they are, I know it's disappointing to not move on. This is the worst part of the game for us because someone has to go home. But we hope you had some fun. How many of you are seniors? Wow. So Annabelle, come back next season. We want to see you with a bigger smile on your face. I know you're not ready to smile right now, but smile next season because maybe you'll have a different reason. But again, Roberto, Ty, and Ryan, it's been a pleasure having you here. It's been a pleasure not only having you in this game, but over the years playing because we hope you had a lot of fun, and it's fun to watch. And you guys are super smart, and you deserve the attention for it. So good luck in everything you do. North Boone, good luck in the second round. We will see you then, and we hope to see you next week for a Nick 10 battle between Hononegah and Boylan. Thanks for joining us.